G'day, hi and welcome. Alright, I'm a little rough today because I had too much fun last night. Because yesterday was the mud run. And you were looking at two good workhorses here. And they are all full of mud. The reason why I'm out here by the wood pile is about the only place I can do this. But you can see how dirty the cameras are. The lens is pretty good, but you can see little snippets of mud there. Mud there. It was a little worse yesterday. And this one is a big old gob of mud. Landed smack dab on the lens when it was in my pocket. This thing got really good and dirty yesterday, so yeah, the handle's a little bit not as bad as it was yesterday. It was a lot more gunked up yesterday. Okay, it's still as bad as it was yesterday. So yeah, so a lot of dust yesterday. Not great for the camera. Completely wore the GoPro out. You only get about a steady hour or so of battery life on the GoPro Hero 5, and somehow I made this sucker last 6 hours or so, and I got all the mud runners going through at least twice, some even more. I got almost the entire day's worth of events yesterday, but it's like, you know, it was I had to be very conservative with the battery. It would be nice to get a spare battery for this for sure. This camera, I took over 500 shots yesterday. Not on the biggest resolution, but this camera, I tell you, it's a workhorse, but it was struggling yesterday with all that dust. It was really struggling. This is such a dirty, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, of how dirty this camera is. There was mud being flung at it. I was in clouds of dust. There was even bugs inside there. I looked through the lens one day. At one point yesterday, I saw a lens, a fly. So I kept looking for the fly on the outside of my lens. He was on the inside. It was messing up the autofocus in my camera too. So I'm just going to be out here and I'm going to clean them off rather than clean them off in the house. So, and it was really tricky to get the mud. Like, this thing was right in my pocket here, and somehow this camera got covered full of mud, but nothing touched the lens. The one mud rain went by. You'll probably see it on the video, the mud flying at me. And not a drop of mud touched the lens filter out here. I know I have the lens cover on right now, but nothing touched that. But the rest of the camera was my hands, me, I was all covered. And then this thing was in my pocket, and the mud landed right there. And getting that mud off there, because there was a lot of rocks and grit in there, to get it off there without scratching that that outer layer was very, very tricky. But I managed to do it, and in a timely fashion. Hopefully the microphones didn't get too muffled out with the dust. But considering this thing is waterproof or whatever, or supposed to be waterproof, I've never tested it yet. I'm too chicken. It'd be different if I had another camera, and I will test maybe how good the seals are on the side and on the bottom there for that. But I'm going to get these things cleaned up. These, yeah, cameras vs mud. These cameras worked really hard yesterday, and so did this guy. But it was a good day. It was a really good day. A lot of people, a lot of friends, kind of like a reunion. And of course there was lots of cars, muds, and some pretty girls. There was a little bit of everything there yesterday. But today, it is time. I'll get this to clean everything. So sweep all that mud off. Some of it's caked down there pretty good, but you can see all the dust on it. Yeah, that's a lot of dust. That is a lot of dust. If you are going to clean your camera with liquids and stuff like that, like lenses, usually no problem. But if you're going to do, if you're going to do other things, use damp, not wet. These are electronics. This camera, I think, is water resistant, not waterproof. This one's supposed to be waterproof, so I don't know, maybe I can dunk it or something like that and get the mud off of it. But I'm going to try to dry clean it the best I can first, and if that's good enough, I will just do that. Obviously, the handle doesn't matter. I can dunk that in the water and clean that as I need to. But yeah, what a great day. What a great day. There we go. So, cameras versus mud. My shutter, I'm going to do another video just on this camera there. I think this camera's getting near the end of its life because that shutter was struggling yesterday. It was getting locked up on me a few times. I don't think it's just because it started doing it a couple of events ago. But this is 2003 technology, so you know, there's probably well over 130,000 shots on this thing, maybe more, maybe 250,000. I don't know how many shots. I'd like to see the view counter. I think there is a mileage meter somewhere in there that you can get a program to find out how many shots this camera has taken. Well, I don't know if you can on this one. I know on newer ones you can, but you might be able to do it on this one too. And if you can, then you know exactly what you got on it. But I've taken a lot of photos with this, so still a workhorse, but it's in need of retiring. So hopefully someday I'll get another camera as good as this thing was. Or, well, obviously better than, you know, newer technology would be better, but that served me as well as this is what I mean to say. Anyway, there we go. So, cameras, vs mud. Look at that big gob of mud. That's like maybe one, you know, like this whole thing was covered. Like the rest of the camera was fine. This in my pocket. I don't know how it got there. Like, how did that one chunk of mud? It didn't touch even the rest of the camera hardly at all. Just right smack dab on the lens. Yeah, there we go. All right. Have a great day.